So, welcome to the, oh, I hate these lights. Welcome to the May 2024 meeting of the City of York Zoning Hearing Board. We have a very, very heavy agenda tonight. So we're going to have to dispense with formalities and we're going to have to cut out the jokes and the storytelling. And, oh, I don't think I want to stay. It doesn't sound like much fun. Oh, I guess I should stay. Let me introduce who we are. At the far right end for you is Christine Brown Myers. I got it half right.
Not that I matter,
And before, I'm going to do it before I forget, if I can remember how.
That silver button right there.
Oh, the right button.
There you go.
Please, everybody do that. Where was I? Our interim supplies, they used to call it supply pastor. Our supply solicitor is Tom Lang. And to my right is Sina Jenkins, our vice chair. Then there's Adam Nugent on the other side of the empty chair where Nick Holman should be sitting. Maybe no, if he's not here on time, he won't be here, I don't think. And Corey Carden at your far left. And I'm Franklin Williams, chair of the board. We have 4 members here. So in the very unlikely event of a tie vote, well, we're not going to have that. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. The last time we did, it kind of ruined my week. Anyway, we really only have one case, but we'll pay as much attention to it as if it was the big case of the year. If anybody has a cell phone other than me, because it's how I tell time, and nobody calls me anyway, and that's the way I want it, please turn it either to vibrate or off. You're not going to miss many calls in the time we're probably going to be here. I know you've met our zoning officer, Monty McMillan. We have one case. I don't know that it's worth going through the little introductory thing. You were before the Planning Commission Monday evening, and as Tom is probably going to tell you, can I call you Tom?
That's totally fine.
That's your name, isn't
That
it?
is.
And I'm Franklin.
It's nice to meet you, Franklin.
I usually start off with, if there's a room full of people, and I think some of them have never been through this before, I tell them that we have the benefit of the recommendation of our zoning officer and also of the Planning Commission. And we do value those recommendations, that advice, but then we make up our own minds. As Harry Truman used to say, the buck stops here. Well, actually, it doesn't have to. If you feel that we really goofed, you can file an appeal to the Court of Common Pleas. But in my 22 or 23 years, I believe that's been done twice, and I think we were upheld both times. I'm not telling you that to discourage you, but there again, I don't think it's a real big worry. Would anyone who may testify this evening please stand and raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you give here this evening will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Let the record reflect it. The whole crowd was sworn Duly sworn, okay. See, Nick is usually the one who says, something I forgot. I don't think, Okay.
Step to the mic and put your piece.
Tom, would you read in or introduce our case? I almost said the first case.
Sure, Chairman. So this is case number 20-2024-Z-V/SE. The applicant is Raphael Falcon of 2201 Lidditz Pike, Lancaster, PA 17601. The owner of the subject property is Leon Zuckerman of 466 West Market Street, York, PA 17401. The subject property is located at the 476 West Market Street address, located in the UN2 Urban Residential Neighborhood Zoning District of the City of York. The applicant seeks two variances and a special exception to permit a multifamily dwelling conversion from a different use. First, the applicant seeks a definitional variance to permit a multifamily dwelling conversion from a different use from a single-family residence. Next, the applicant seeks a variance to permit a multifamily conversion in a property which has not been vacant for at least 2 years, as required by the City of York zoning ordinance. And finally, the applicant seeks a special exception to permit a multifamily dwelling conversion from a different use, a use permitted by special exception in the UN2 zoning district. The application was reviewed by the planning staff of the City of York. The planning staff recommends denial of the requested variance related to the definition of multifamily dwelling conversion from a different use. The planning staff recommends approval of the requested variance related to density, and the planning staff recommends approval of the special exception conditioned on the zoning hearing board's grant of both variances. The case was heard by the City of York Planning Commission on May 13, 2023, and by way of unanimous vote, the Planning Commission recommended approval of the requested variances and the requested special exception. The record before the board this evening consists of the application itself, the deed to the subject property, an aerial view of the subject property, 3 pages of floor plans, and 31 pages of photos of the subject property. And when you eventually step up here to speak, just state your name clearly into the microphone so we can get that on the record. Thank you.
Okay, would you come to the podium, please? And give your name and address for the record.
Yep. Hello. Good evening. My name is Jay Cedino, and I'm the buyer agent. I'm a real estate agent representing Raphael Falcon, and I reside. My office reside in 2938 Columbia Avenue in Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Are you? Well, if you need Mr. You call him Falcon.
Falcon is actually the Spanish way, but
He's only.
My apologies.
but that's okay.
He's only.
He's probably used to it already.
He's only 4 steps away, so it won't take him long to get to the podium. Can I just move that we approve the 2 variances and the special exception? Because I know there's a sentiment around here that I take too long and I slow the whole operation down. So
Who said that?
I hear it. No. I don't know what I had to drink today, nothing. But I'm
Tell me
in,
what's from Ivory, so
I'm in such a good mood, right? Okay. Now, let me just cut to the chase, and before, if you start to tell about the property, I'll forget. Your client is not yet the owner.
No, he's under contract agreement at the moment, in contingency of
Right.
the outcome.
Right. Now, I know that the Zuckermans bought the property for $45,000 quite a while back. And if your client was the owner already, instead of pending zoning approval, I guess, I would ask, so he is about to buy the property pending our decision this evening. and it will be public record. So I'm not asking about your medical records. What is the purchase price proposed?
The purchase price is $180,000.
180?
And 80, yes.
Well, it's a beautiful home. And it comes without needing a parking variance, which is always a concern to me. Because contrary to what some people around here think, even out in that neighborhood, parking is a concern. But it's a former doctor's office, I believe, and as such, I guess they had a good bit of parking space out back. I live up in the 500 block, and I drive down sometimes to Penn Street, so I know the back of that property.
Yes, 12 parking space.
Yeah. Ms. Jenkins, let me turn the questioning over to you, and then you can pass it on down, because I don't have a lot of other questions at the moment. I may think of something.
I see it does have 2 meters.
It has 2 meters and 2 electrical boxes. The Columbia Gas has recently stepped in because the house has been closed for 2 years, or vacant for 2 years. And I guess the meters used to be inside, and that's not the law anymore. So they redo the whole entire gas line, and they already put it in the outside of the home, and it is 2-meter gas going to the different levels of the house.
So all utilities are.
Are split already, yes.
I guess it was separate when, you may not know whether the former doctor's office, whether perhaps the second and third floors were a residential apartment? If the utilities are already separately metered now.
I am assuming so. He did not say, or the listing agent, but I noticed that they have like a little map of the place, like what the exits are, because it was a doctor's office. And it seems that the first floor was where the business is, because it used to be a commercial space for the first floor. So I'm assuming that's where the business was.
And the gas meters on the sidewalk, I'm pretty sure have only been put there in the last couple of months.
That's what she just.
Yeah, they did it like in the past 3 weeks or so is when it was done. Yes.
And, Michael Miller lived just about 3 or 4 houses east of there. And I bet he'd have had a heart attack if he'd have said, I'm just almost glad he didn't live to see the meters out front, because I don't think he'd have liked it. I don't think he would have. Anyway, so the plan is first floor is apartment 1, and then second and third floors apartment 2.
That is correct.
And thank you for not trying to squeeze 3 or 4 apartments into the building.
Oh, not a problem. I mean, he mainly did this so he could actually live one of the units and then rent the other one so he can, be more affordable for him.
Looks like nice, clean, well-kept apartments.
Yes. And it has the 2 exits as well, which is, I think it's a great thing that you have the front, and then the second floor apartment has a staircase out of the back that goes to the backyard, and same thing with the first floor have 2 exits. So, yeah.
You have anything else, sir?
Any other
We're all good
questions?
down here. I already asked.
I mean, when we have what looked to me from the get-go like an obvious winner, I don't think we have to pretend that it's not.
Nope.
And would someone like to make a motion on the variance?
In the case of 20-2024-Z-SE-V at 476 West Market Street, I recommend that we approve a variance to the definition of multifamily conversion from a different use as defined in section 1304.01-1.02.002A. And that's in the UN2 zoning district.
Second.
It's been moved and, by Ms. Jenkins and seconded by Mr. Nugent, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
To approve the variance to the definition of multifamily conversion. Calling for the vote, Mr. Carden.
Aye.
Carden, aye. Mr. Nugent.
Aye.
Nugent, aye. Ms. Jenkins.
Aye.
Jenkins, aye. And Williams, aye.
In the same case, I recommend to approve a variance to waive the special exception provision that the property must have been vacant for 2 years found in section 1311.11C1 for the property located at 476 West Market Street in the UN2 zoning district.
Second.
It's again been moved by Ms. Jenkins and seconded by Mr. Nugent to approve the variance to waive the special exception provision requiring 2 years vacant. Calling for the vote, Mr. Carden.
Aye.
Carden, aye. Mr. Nugent.
Aye.
Nugent, aye. Ms. Jenkins.
Aye.
Jenkins, aye. And Williams, aye.
I recommend, in the same case, I recommend to approve of a special exception to allow multifamily use as defined in section 1304.01-1.02.002 in the UN2 zoning district. I kind of ran together.
Yeah, I'll second.
It's been moved by Ms. Jenkins and seconded by Mr. Nugent to approve the special exception to allow multifamily use. Calling for the vote, Mr. Carden.
Aye.
Carden, aye. Mr. Nugent.
Aye.
Nugent, aye. Ms. Jenkins.
Aye.
Jenkins, aye. And Williams, aye. You're approved.
Thank you very much.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Welcome to my neighborhood. Maybe I'll see you one day when I'm walking down to Market, if I can still do that.
Get out of here.
Let me just briefly point out something that I was discussing this with Nancy, the former zoning officer, this forenoon, and you may have noted that Monty recommended denial of the first variance because his job is to make sure that we know exactly what the zoning ordinance says, what it allows, what it doesn't. And he did his job there. It's our job to decide whether or not a requested application and the property it pertains to should have to follow the exact requirements of the zoning ordinance. Technically, this did not meet some of the hoops that we are supposed to jump through, like that there are some sort of weird dimensions or shapes to the lot. Well, there aren't. It's a typical West Market Street property. But I don't see how anybody could deny that this is a very suitable property for 2 apartments. And I sort of envy the people who are going to rent them. They're not going to have the yard work that I'm struggling to do. Any closing comments?
All good.
my friends? Monty? We stand adjourned.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Good luck.